The whole business of finding new growing sites is starting to become quite obsessive. The fact is, there are all sorts of institutions, organisations and companies that are sitting on land that could be used productively for growing on. Railway stations, hospitals, utility companies, even airports. Where Heathrow Airport now sprawls, there once grew some of the best orchards and market gardens around London, providing city folk with fine fare. Industry may have gobbled up much of our acreage, but all these big landowners must have a little to spare. There's one venerable and hallowed institution that I'd be a fool to ignore. It's well known that they've got thousands of acres of land, and what's more, their whole remit is to be on the side of the angels and look after their flock. The Church of England is one of Britain's biggest landowners, and Landshare seems to have struck exactly the right chord. Canon Amatu and Brian Cuthbertson of the London Diocese have got some patches of land going spare, but they don't know whether they're fertile or futile.
So this is it. It's
right. It looks like about half an acre, and that's not including the trees. I mean, this is one great plot of land. I reckon this site near Heathrow could be a runaway success. Look, it looks like someone's already had a go over here, doesn't it?
It does.
Look, somebody's growing chilies. I imagine that whoever's started growing here has literally just scraped the grass off, and look at the fantastic soil that they've uncovered. I mean, great stuff.
What do you think? How many allotments or how many plots do you think?
Certainly 20, if not 30.
As many as that?
Well, I think so, yeah.
That amazes me. I was thinking perhaps about 7 altogether.
If you cleared the brambles back to the fences there, I mean, that's another 5 little plots there.
Can you see any snags in with gardening on a plot like this? For example, it's right next to a motorway.
Yeah, but there's a very good buffer of trees between here and the motorway. I don't think pollution is an issue. If necessary, one does a few soil samples and gets a check for contamination or toxins in the soil.
We should do that.
The way everything's growing here, it looks like a very healthy plot to me.
Good.
What else has the London Diocese got up its sleeve? There must be dozens. I mean, how many parishes are there?
There could be. I actually literally have something up my sleeve here, which is a map of the whole diocese. You can see from here there are spots with crosses showing every church. 479, I think, to be exact. And each of those is associated with its own land, and then there are other plots of land between being used in various ways.
Even if only 1 in 10 of the churches was able to find a plot of land, you'd have 40 or 50 plots of land.
You would.
It's got to be worth looking at, isn't it?
Yes. Having heard your enthusiasm, I want to concentrate now on seeing what needs to be done to make this happen, if possible.
Today, Harmondsworth. Tomorrow, the Diocese of London. And the day after that, the whole of England, Britain.
After that, the moon.
And after that, the moon, the whole solar system. Heaven and earth, shall we say?
Yes, indeed.
After you.
Right.
If the church can dig up good growing ground so easily, then what about other institutions, factories and business parks? In fact, the more you look, the more fertile land you'll see just waiting to be turned over to the nation. So why don't you join the 5,500 people who've already signed up in our launch week? Whether you've got land or you want land, we want your help. Just log on to www.channel4.com/Landshare.